again, and it is a thriller set on a super yacht. I play Lo, who is an investigative journalist who thinks she's going for a bit of a jolly with a load of rich people, and then all of a sudden somebody gets murdered and nobody believes her. And so it turns into a bit of a thriller and psychological thriller where she's kind of being gaslit by everybody around her, but she absolutely knows that something has happened and she needs to get to the bottom of the mystery. We thought it was going to be quite luxurious, and then, you know, the nature of filming is that we were on this amazing boat that was built for like 25 crew members and like 12 guests. Only we had the 25 crew members from the boat, and then we had 70 crew members from the film, and then we had 20 cast members. We weren't allowed to touch the walls, and we weren't allowed to touch the carpets, and we weren't allowed to sit on any of the furniture, so we were just sort of, all of us, crowded into the middle of it 12 hours a day, and it was quite cold, so it wasn't quite the luxurious experience that I thought it might be. I spoke to my friend about doing this before I started, and she was a big fan of the book, and she was like, oh, I've just come back from my summer holiday. It was my summer holiday read. I was sitting there at the pool with a pina colada, and I was having like the loveliest time. And I think the film equivalent of that, I want you to have if you've had a hard day at the office, make yourself a drink, sit down and watch a fun thriller, because that'll be cool. It's very exciting. We had an amazing time making it, and I really hope everyone enjoys it.
We're looking at a very wealthy man and his wife who are heading off on a sort of a charity excursion to raise funds for this organisation that they're part of. Keira Knightley plays a journalist who has been invited to come on board this journey, and of course she witnesses apparently someone going overboard and has something to say about it, and everybody on board claims that she doesn't know what she's talking about and is essentially gaslighting her. So, you know, it's a story about people not being listened to, really. I mean, it was a really lovely experience for us, to be honest, primarily because it was a great bunch of actors, and obviously with Simon Stone directing, we felt like we were in really good hands. But, you know, Keira, Hannah Waddingham, David Ajala, just a really beautiful group of actors to be sort of in an ensemble with was pretty special. So it's nice now to be, you know, sharing it with the world. When I read this, I felt really moved by what Keira's character was experiencing, as far as knowing they're seeing the truth, trying to get the truth across, and those around her not believing her. And I think in this day and age, there's so much about, especially with social media, digital technology, AI, etc., where the truth is being manipulated, bastardized, and toyed with, that I think, especially with kids involved, it's really important that the truth gets to rise to the surface. So, you know, maybe this is just a little glimpse of what is required for all of us in society, and that is that the truth rises to the top, and that anything else that's trying to sort of stop that is exposed, really. You know.
Well, the movie as a whole piece, I just so badly wanted to get on board because I wanted to work with Simon. And I think the collection of people, the gaggle, as I like to call us, that they've gathered together, I just couldn't resist it. I thought, I don't care if I've got 1 word, 5 words, no words. I want to work with those people. They're people that I've admired for many years. David Morrissey and I playing husband and wife, Thomas and Heidi. They're kind of revolting. You know, they're very fortunate. They never think that anyone deserves their opinion heard above their own. And the whole ethos of the movie being, you know, when a group of people isn't listening to one outsider, the frightening ramifications of that. And so for me, it could be set anywhere. It's that dichotomy of, you know, do you stand alone and listen to the loner, or do you stay in your pack? And I quite liked that. So to hang out with all this lot, I mean, we bonded, I think because we were at sea and everyone was feeling a little bit sick. We were all like, I've got you, I've got you. We all just hit it off so much. It was one of those things, we were either all going to hit it off or all hate each other, because we were in like a little B&B, all of us together in Weymouth, and then we were all up in Scotland together, and it was like all on top of each other. So I would say I just loved all of it. I couldn't single out one scene because actually the ones when we were all together were the funniest days. And I loved Keira and Guy together. There was a real lovely symbiosis there. And then all of us chipping in like these kind of vile people. So yeah, I can't wait to see it. Haven't seen it. I'm not good at seeing things with people next to me. So I might have to, blinker myself up a bit. Simon's skill as a director, it looks breathtaking. And like I said, the group of people that have gathered together on screen, I hope people really dig into each character and watch it many times because people are doing some of their finest work.
I really enjoyed the premise of the story, who was in it, being led by Keira Knightley, directed by Simon Stone. And there was something about this character being ambiguous that made me feel that it could be a fun story to be a part of. Someone whose moral compass is just a bit, operates in a grey area. And I've had an amazing time working on this film. It's been a real blessing. Just in terms of logistically, we were working on a super yacht, and ordinarily you're only allowed to have like 15 guests on the yacht. We had like 70 crew members, and this yacht was very expensive. The artwork on the yacht was super expensive. So a lot of the things we had to bear in mind were just making sure we didn't damage anything. But aside from the logistics, it was really special working on the super yacht because it just looks the part, how the other half lives, so to say. There's a few. There's one in particular, but I don't want to give away no spoilers. You know what I mean? But there is one specific scene that was really cool to shoot. It's a real blessing because it takes a Herculean effort to put something like this together. There's so many logistics to overcome, from raising the finances to get the right cast and locations, and to be here with yourself and here with all these people embracing this celebration is wonderful. I feel very proud. I'm looking forward to everyone watching it and checking it out. I think a lot of people enjoy a good murder mystery, a good whodunit, because then it means that we can be armchair detectives and try and figure out who the culprits are or who the culprit is. So my main thing is just, I would encourage the audience to pay attention to the detail of every character's behavior. Pay attention to that.
The Woman in Cabin 10 is a kind of paranoia thriller about a woman who is trapped on a boat in a confined space with a bunch of people. She knows that somebody is lying. She sees a body go overboard. She knows someone's a killer. And I'm a sort of, I guess, like a debutante. That's probably the wrong word. Like a sort of gadfly posh guy who's the son of a rich newspaper man and sees everything as a bit of a joke. And it was fun to play someone who is, to begin with, very snarky and sardonic about everything. God knows why they cast me to do that. But then sort of as it goes on, everyone becomes darker and you have your suspicions about them. If I had to pick a particular scene out, there's a kind of cool gala at the end, which was we shot up in Scotland, doubling for Norway, and it's this beautiful estate up there. I'm gonna forget the name of the estate. Anyway, this beautiful countryside. It really sort of shows the scale and scope of what Netflix can do with a film like this. It was just a beautiful rolling countryside. And I'm getting older now. I'm boring these days. Just nice vistas. I'm just into the nice vistas. My hope is that it is entertaining. I think this is a film that sets out to be relentlessly entertaining from start to finish, and it has some incredible twists and turns. You sort of know going into it, this is going to be a film that plays its cards close to its chest and has some interesting twists in there. And I think it's a perfect kind of Saturday night Netflix thriller. You don't really know what's going on or who anyone is, but you just kind of know that it's a ride.